How we doing, y'all? I'm Topher, and as I'm sure you are all acutely aware, it is now spooky season. Time for things to get a little frightening, and I actually wanted to spend this October revisiting something from my childhood that I haven't seen a lot of people really talk about. There was a show, and I think it was like ABC Family or something would feature it a lot, or Fox Family, I don't know, some crap. But it was called The Scariest Places on Earth, and it was when I was really young. It came out in like 2000, 2001, and I was really scared of it all the time. And because now I'm such a huge fan of like BuzzFeed Unsolved and Ghost Files and, paranormal stuff. I grew up watching Ghost Hunters a lot until I found out it was like, a lot of BS that they do. But I really love things like this where like people get put into the situations to ghost hunt and be around spooky stuff. And I want to see if it holds up or if it's just kind of lame. But basically I'm just gonna go through, watch the show with you guys a little bit, try and, this is the first time I've tried this format, so I'm gonna try and make it transformative so there's no like craziness going on. I want to try and just comment on it, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Alright, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Following program may be too intense for some viewers. Some material has been recreated. Hold on, what? You gotta get me. Some material has been recreated for storytelling purposes. This is gonna be fun, I think.
Chills run down your spine. You break into a cold sweat. Your heart begins to pound. You are afraid. Tonight, on Scariest Places on Earth, an exorcism in England.
Anybody tells you a ghost can't hurt you, they don't know what they're talking about.
We just don't want to be here.
And I believe what we have here is something extremely evil. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command all evil spirits to leave this house.
Not good at all.
It's very found footage. Now I know why it like creeped me out. It's like when I was a kid, it's very found footage, and it's green light on people's faces. We're in night vision now. Like I get it. Now it's starting to all come back, and it's like I know it seems corny right now, but it's kind of bringing a chill. And knowing it's on Sci-Fi is like, okay, that's why it's like Sci-Fi's still running this regular. That's why I couldn't find it. So.
And this family dares to spend the night in the world's most haunted castle.
My name is David Olson. Kind of a show.
That was the big thing for me too. So they would have it where you would, people would explore. They would do funky camera tricks to try and scare you, and then they had the little girl talking, so it's like Exorcist style. But they would also have these families stay the night in the castle. And I don't know if it was just this one time, but I could have sworn there were multiple times where they had the whole gimbal gear set up and they had 4 family members, 3 family members in castles. I wonder, I feel like I've seen them do that a lot. I feel like it wasn't just this first episode. I feel like I've seen them put this family in this castle, or not this family, multiple families in this castle like 4 or 5 times. Like I might be wrong because there's like 5 seasons of it. So hopefully it comes up.
What is it?
Oh yeah, and they had Linda Blair hosting it. That's the original Exorcist chick. That's why it was like spooky. I didn't understand that at the time. I was like, who is this lady?
On the inside, this college campus harbored a history of horror.
According to the British Society for Psychical Research, the 13th most haunted place on Earth is Athens, Ohio.
I thought that was a fart. Real quick, I just want to say, I don't think psychical research is a thing that exists. I think it's psychiatric research, unless it's some form of like, I don't know, they're combining psychosis and like physics. I don't know. This okay. Let's roll.
I think it's the combination of things here in Athens. You have strange things, ghosts, poltergeist activity. The room with the 666. Wait a minute, let me figure this out. Yeah, spooky cemetery. You throw in a crying angel, a haunted mental health center, residence halls that have ghostly inhabitants walking the halls at night, and you end up with a pretty spooky but pretty special place.
I'm gonna say a resident hall in a college town in Ohio. I'm gonna say Ohio doesn't have a lot of stuff really going on from the people I've met that live there. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think those are ghosts walking those halls. I think those are visitors. I think those are people that your roommates have met at the club and brought home and said, oh crap, I don't go to this school, and are leaving. Just throwing that in there. I think you're not hearing ghosts, I think you're hearing booty calls, but I could be wrong.
I can't name one person I know on campus, and I know quite a few people that haven't had some experience or know someone that's had an experience.
People started telling me, oh, you live in the haunted room in Wilson Hall. Lights, curling irons, radios, all would go on and off on their own.
You can hear what sounds like marbles going.
Yeah, surely this place in Ohio is, you know, they're using this old residence hall for students. Surely there's no electrical problems for this hall that has probably been around since the 1800s or the early 1900s. Surely it is not an old building that has been not cared for in Ohio.
Across the ceiling.
All this strange stuff started happening. Things started flying around the room.
You couldn't really even make out her face, but you could see through her.
Sometimes we'd hear rattling inside.
There was a distinct sound of somebody or something moving things around in the room that we had just come out of.
I decided not to stay in my room anymore. I stayed with friends.
I've met a couple people that have felt very uncomfortable here from the start and said that they will never ever set foot in Athens, Ohio again.
Yes, there are all kinds of unusual events and unexplained events that may be paranormal, and there are certainly a lot of unexplained events that never end up with any resolution.
Documents in the
All of them.
spook file reveal a disturbing link between 5 local cemeteries and the town of Athens.
When these 5 cemeteries are connected, they form a pentagram around the city of Athens, with the center of this being at the very center of campus. As you branch out, you begin to hit residence halls and the ridges, the mental health center, and you hit areas that are just chock full, really, of ghost stories and of legends behind them. There are several reasons.
That pentagram was a little lopsided. Just saying.
Why there's so much stuff going on here, and I'm going to explain a few of them. I decided to take people out into where it actually happens. Sometimes we see some stuff that we really just can't explain away.
In 1873, the Athens Lunatic Asylum opened its doors.
The Ridges at night is I think a horror movie waiting to happen. Part of me is really excited to go into the Ridges because it's an opportunity that not a lot of people have. To be able to get in there and explore and see what we can find, and there's so many legends.
Originally, when it would open its doors, it was a big sign over the wrought iron facade was the Lunatic Asylum.
Now, of course, it has this new name, the Ridges, to help describe, perhaps, its geographic look, a structure of 18 million bricks.
And there on the top of this hill are these Victorian, beautiful but very spooky, very unsettling buildings. When you imagine what a 19th century mental hospital would have looked like, this is it. There are some of the rooms you can look through and still see shackles on the wall where the inmates were shackled.
Okay, now you're in the basement of Building 18. Everything's connected by either the basements or tunnels, which you see the tunnel going through down at the end of it there.
Oh, look at this. New patients, records 1943, 1945, 46, 48.
The asylum was a regular stop for a physician who conducted extreme medical procedures. He was known as Dr. Lobotomy.
He would travel around the country in a station wagon and his little tools, you know, his ice picks. And this guy could do up to 20 lobotomies a day, because it would only take 30, 40 seconds to run that ice pick through somebody's temple and spin it around a little bit and destroy their frontal lobes. And then off he'd go.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. They have this doctor who is supposedly a doctor, but no true. I want to research this guy now. Dr. Lobotomy. You're just letting this guy going around lobotomizing people. I mean, it is the 40s and 50s. Maybe it's just like people are just. Who knows? let's just pick their brains out a little bit. That might fix it. I mean, everything else we've tried hasn't worked. But you're just letting this doctor go around essentially harming people for no reason? Was it that common of a practice back then? I don't know if it was that common of a practice. I'd like to look that up. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna hold on. I gotta bullshit check this real quick. His methods following a lobotomy on President John F. Oh my God, he's the guy who lobotomized JFK's sister. Holy crap, that's insane. He ruined her life. 2,500 used as okay, yeah, okay, all right. I'm buying it now. My question now is, this is for the criminally insane, right? This is for lunatics. They're not like, well, they didn't say criminally insane. They said this is a place for lunatics. So are these people even criminals? Are they just normal people with mental health conditions that is like, oh, I don't know, let the lobotomizer come in and just ice pick their eyeballs? Like, what the hell? Like, I understand you're trying to find treatments and procedures for these people, but like, I don't know, that seems insane to me. Whoever was handling this place, it clearly needed to be shut down. Okay, sorry. I have a lot of opinions about this. This is strange. Let's move on. Alright, that is fresh. That is fake fresh blood. They would not... I've seen people investigate a lot of spooky places. That blood would not be left there fresh. I know we're supposed to be watching this together, but... Come on. I did this so I could comment on it. This is stupid.
In 1979, the asylum was closed. The patients were transferred, all but one.
A woman disappeared. They searched the institution 3 times, couldn't find her anywhere.
The family had missed her and inquired as to where she was. So they had made searches, and I guess they had made several searches, you know, like in 2-week intervals, but they never found her.
Sometimes you'll actually look up there and you'll see the window and they see something peering down upon them, which obviously creeps anyone out.
Many people report an apparition.
And in this one window, you could just barely see a presence. I promise you, I know it sounds exaggerated, but you could tell there was something up there.
Year after.
Yeah, I'm sure there was something up there. This woman probably got caught in between the walls or something crazy because they're letting doctors come in and just lobotomize people. I'm sure other safety precautions weren't taken. This lady probably fell down a shaft and they're like, well, I'm not searching down there. That's the body chute. I'm not going down the body chute. Like, seeing that they put the blood on the wall already, a blood stain over 50 years wouldn't stay that red and bright or brownish red and bright. That's insane. So they're dressing this place. There's somebody is set dressing that window because it's kind of out of ocular view on the street. I guarantee it. I'm sorry. I think in watching like BuzzFeed Unsolved and Ghost Files, I think I'm becoming like a Shaniac type of person. If you don't know Shane, it's a show by Ryan Bergar and Shane Madej. And Shane is the one who is doesn't believe in ghosts, but he's like easily scared as a person. He's like, if something's scary, I'm going to be scared of it, but I just don't believe in ghosts. So they investigate places, and he's like, this is not spooky. This place is just, it is what it is. You know, there's no ghosts here. And I feel like I'm becoming much more critical of these things. Like I can see through it now. And I can also see why a 7-year-old me would be absolutely terrified and shitting his pants watching this because they're using a bunch of creepy effects. I think this is okay. Let's.
Year after year of sightings of a woman moving from room to room through the windows. Let's go see what's going on.
I thought he went over here.
Kevin? Bats are not fun.
When the missing woman's body was eventually
I don't want to take that bat was a paid actor, I'm sure.
found, it had left a bizarre imprint.
Oh, see? It's found.
Did she come over possibly to look out the window? Maybe to see somebody to yell for help. But she took her clothes off and folded them real neatly and stacked them in the window. And then she laid down here.
Everything. You could see where she lay down.
It feels funny. Like I got chills when I walked in here. Really?
I'm sure that's not chalk, and her body truly disintegrated and made a perfect outline of her body and face. You can make out facial features on that. Come on.
You could see everything. You could see where she lay down.
It It's funny, like I got chills when I walked in here.
In 1981, a student who touched the stain claimed the dead woman's spirit followed her back to her dorm room.
One night she was asleep. She opened her eyes and saw a face floating level with her head. It was a woman's face. This, of course, freaked her out greatly, really frightened her. No one heard anything for 3 or 4 days. They went in to check on the student to see what was wrong. She had killed herself in Wilson Hall.
I just feel nothing followed me out.
Coming up next, entering the suicide room.
This is the student room. We're going.
It is very sad that somebody lost their life. I struggle to believe that a ghost made her do it. And it makes me wonder if maybe that was a ploy for her to make people think, oh, when I die, they'll think it's a ghost and not my massive depression taking over. And I'm very sad that she had to go that way.
It happening, things started flying around the room.
The Ridges at Night is I think a horror movie waiting to happen.
And this guy could do up to 20
I think I need to put up like an epilepsy warning before this video. Like, golly, is it just me? I feel like they're trying to hypnotize you into being scared. I wouldn't be surprised if they used like spooky sounds. These sounds are outside of the human hearing, but they're just audible enough to scare you and make you fear the unknown. And like the epileptic just lights going on. I see what they did now. I see why I was scared when I was a kid. I don't. That's okay. Let's.
Lobotomies a day.
You could just barely see a presence. You could tell there was something up there.
She had killed herself.
God.
In Wilson Hall.
I feel like I'm being hypnotized.
In 1981, a resident committed suicide after claiming to be haunted by a woman who died in the Athens lunatic asylum.
A student on the 4th floor committed suicide under strange circumstances. And ever since then, it has really held their reputation as the most haunted place on campus. Just do me a favor, and everybody just sort of crouch down and get a good hold of this grass, feel the ground. The ground you're feeling right now is Indian burial ground, sacred ground to Native Americans.
Okay. All right. So, look, I know I've been saying a lot, and I have a lot to say, but you can't make me feel bad that this woman or student, it sounds like, I think they might have mentioned it was a girl, she ended her life, and feel bad about that because a ghost was haunting her, and now, mysteriously, the ground that this is built on is Indian burial ground. It may very well be, but you can't just keep... They're just conglomerating all of the spooky stuff together just to keep making people scared. Like, it's like... I can't say it's too much, because at the time, and for the type of television you see, I can assume this is just really good writing for certain people. Just like, oh my god, there's a lady, and her outline is perfectly there. It's like her body disintegrated. Oh my god, a girl touched it, and then it followed her there, and then she ended her life. Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh my god, and now they're here. Oh my god, it's on Indian burial grounds. Holy crap, holy fuck, oh my god. Like, it's just a little too... They're taking it too far, I think. And now it's just becoming a silly thing. It's now becoming like a shade of what spooky things should be. It's not like I don't know. It's starting to break the illusion a little bit for me. It's like if this person really did end their life, I'm very sorry. But still, something feels funny that they keep adding new scary layers to all of this. And on the other hand, if it is real, it's like, okay, well, you're on Indian burial grounds. You went into a spooky asylum. God forbid she ended her life. It's very sad. But, you know, it's like, okay, well, now maybe it is. You know, of course it's going to be haunted. You're surrounding yourself with all this craziness and not demolishing these buildings, and you're desecrating these grounds. Of course bad things are bound to happen. But something tells me this is just kind of like an add-on. Like they just had a spooky DLC additional, like a content pack that they were just in the writer's room, and they're like, what would make this better? And a guy walked in and was like, guys, I've been watching a lot of Scooby-Doo. And let me tell you, I think there's some things that we could definitely add to get some more layers to this. We could add another dimension to this. What if the girl ended her life, may she rest in peace, and the girl, that thing she touched is all disintegrated? Yeah, that's all great. What if it was on the school was on an Indian burial ground? It's like, okay, genius, hire this man, or you're promoted. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I want to see what else they add.
So this has been holy grave site for centuries. if you guys are ready, we'll go ahead and start heading into Wilson and see what we can come up with, see what we can find. You guys set? All right. Most people never get the chance to see what you guys are about to see. What we're going to do is, again, we're right here.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to the economic climate and the cost of college tuition, most people don't get to see what you're going to see unless you just want to go to college in Ohio.
At the gateway to Wilson, the most haunted room.
Man, that is a normal building. People are in that building right now. People do get to see that building. You see that? Hold on.
Come on, here.
Look at that. That building.
At the gateway to...
You don't get a lot of people don't get to see what you're about to see. This building is still well renovated and taken care of, modernized with push doors. Though, if this is not a historic site. This is a college dorm that is still very much used. I think that the producers of this show are making it so these people walk through like an interactive, like on television horror house, like a scary, like the scary Halloween houses that people set up every year. I don't know what they're called, horror house. I don't know. It's like, come on, it's like a haunted house. You're just setting up a haunted house, but you're trying to make it real.
The most haunted room on campus is just 4 flights of stairs straight up. All right, let's head on up. Like I said, 4 flights right up here. We've had several students with a lot of what I've heard referred to as like a psychic slap in the face, where you walk into a place and you're hit by something that makes your hair stand on end and puts you in a really uneasy state.
Creepy building.
It is. You're absolutely right. Right here through this door is pretty much right where it happens. This is the hallway where most of the ghostly activity is centered. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Like I said, we've looked out. I've got the key. I got the key from the university to open the door here. Come on up here, and I'll show you guys something on the door, and then we'll fill you in on the story a little bit more. This is the door where people say that sometimes you can see an outline of a demonic face take place. It's in the wood grain. Let's see if we can see it. It's a little... Yeah, right here. See the eyes? Did you see it, Amy? Did you see it? Did you see it? Horns right here. The eyes. It's right there. Right there. Here's the story. There was a student. She was into practicing the black arts, whether it was some sort of perverted witchcraft or demonic worship, we don't know. But very soon after she moved in, people on the floor began witnessing very strange phenomena. At night, they would hear chanting coming from within the room, chanting and strange, guttural, growling sounds. Books would fall off of bookshelves, brushes would fly across the room, doors would slam themselves shut with no wind. Following that point, that night of terror where no one could sleep, they didn't hear from her again. 3 or 4 days later, the RA, the resident assistant, became concerned and keyed into the room to find that she had committed suicide. But before she had done that, she had smeared symbols and words all over the walls in her own blood. After that, the university cleaned up the room, and the students, new students moved in the next year. But sure enough, they weren't in the room but a few days when things began to move. Doors would slam, drawers would open and shut, and right there on the wall, that red blood began to seep through coat after coat of paint. And that happened no matter how many times they painted it over. Eventually, no one would live in the room. So it was turned into a boiler room that we're going to see. We're going in, okay? We're going to go on in.
I wanted to let him finish his little story, but so this demonic face shows up in this wood that has been a part of this door for many years prior to it becoming a college dorm room. It's not possible. You have never done this. You have never been able to see caricatures or pictures in wood or clouds or any other form of nature that there is out there. It is only when the spooky shit happens and the girl was a witch and ended her own life and smeared blood all over the place. Also, there's like now when I was a little kid, I thought that stuff was real, like the blood smear and the face. That's you can't they wouldn't publicize the pictures of an actual woman with blood dripping from her nose who ended her own life. That would be ridiculous. They would publicize it in like newspapers and stuff, but that clear of a photo with all that kind of stuff, I find it hard to believe they would actually put that like I find it hard to believe that they would put that as like a I don't know. So something. Hold on. Also, with everything, it's a psychic slap in the face, and you're adding so many layers to this. It's just like you're just trying to scare people. Come on. Okay. Ohio, which girl dies in dorm. There's no thing about a witch girl. So I can confidently say they didn't pull any pictures from any sort of publication about her, and they're just trying to creep you out. And it's very on par for America to be like, oh yeah, they cleaned it up, and then they had 2 students move back in there because, I mean, of course, like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna shut that room off and not use it anymore? Are you crazy? Come on, this is America. But yeah, that's very interesting. It's very interesting that all the spooky stuff coincides with her now being a witch, and now she's dead, and it's just. Books were falling off shelves. It's very, come on. Now they're leaning too much into it. Before I wanted to say, I think they just threw everything at a wall and saw what sticks. I didn't believe that. I thought, oh, maybe this is just good writing and they're trying to keep the spooks up and keep scaring young audience members. Now it's just, oh, come on. Now it's just like, come on, what are you doing?
Okay. Come on in. Come on in. But if you come right over here, you can see where the wall was taken out. That's the wall that had the blood coming through it. The university, the only way to stop it was to completely destroy another door slam. The only way
But even though we took down the wall, the blood kept appearing mid-air. The air was fucking filled with the blood, and it kept being in the symbols like they were floating holograms, too. And also, we had one of the producers go and slam a door to scare the shit out of you.
completely take out the wall was the only way to stop that from coming through.
Can we go?
Oh, it's just a board. It's a board. It's a board. Okay. All right. Do you guys want to go? Do you want to get out of here? All right. Let's go. All right. Great. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get out of here. What happened? There was a knock on the door. Yes, on that one. Like a oh my god. Like that. Oh my god. I'm breathing so hard. There was a knock on the door.
Did she just say, geez, all man? Are these Mormons? What's going on here? This is getting kind of funny.
What happened? There was a knock on the door. Yes, on that one. Like a oh my god. Like that. Oh my god. I'm breathing so hard right now. She's right here. She's standing right here.
And also, how do you know she's standing there? How would you ever know? Okay, so this is Chris from the editing bay. That ended up being like 25 minutes, so I think I'm going to do this as like a part 1, part 2 type of scenario. That episode ended with the college students and like the RA dude just kind of walking out, and basically they're like, all right, I want to get out of here, I want to get out of here. And then we go in this little corridor with the stairs and everything, and it all looks very freshly painted, as it does in the episode, because this is not a, dilapidated place. People are still living here, I'm pretty sure. But they start to go, like, down the stairs, and one of the girls is already so scared because they, like, just tried to scare the crap out of him that she screams, and he's like, oh, no, we gotta go out this way. Like, still trying to be a little mysterious, and then they just leave, and that's the end of it. But then it moves on to the second part with Chillingham Castle, bruh. So I kind of want to just leave this here. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you have any thoughts on the on Haunted Ohio episode, let me know. That was kind of fun. I'm going to upload this and then do part 2 where the next one picks up at. And I hope I'll be seeing you guys there. I appreciate you for watching, and happy October. Peace out.